Good afternoon. My name is Rav Yosef Adler from Congregation Rinat Yisrael in Teaneck, New Jersey. This coming Shabbat, in the words of Rabbi Yudin, will be privileged to read Parshat Yitro. At the very beginning of the Parsha, Moshe takes the opportunity to welcome his father-in-law Yitro, his wife Tzipora, and two children, Gershom and Eliezer. At Sheni, the Torah states, Vayhi macharat, it was the next morning, Vayeshev Moshe lishpot et ha'am. And Moshe sits in judgment of the entire nation of Am Yisrael. Ibn Ezra says, Vayhi macharat is the day after Yitro arrived, and that's the Pshuto Shel Mikra. However, Rashi cites the Midrash that Moshe is engaging in Mishpat the day after Yom Kippur. And Rashi tries desperately to prove that Moshe was preoccupied with so many things, the Chet HaEgel, begging HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Slicha Mechila, and he had no opportunity to sit in judgment until the day after Yom Kippur. However, the Rav suggested a more thematic connection between Shefet Ha'am, judgment, and the day of Yom Kippur, an incredibly important lesson that he wanted to teach Moshe Rabbeinu. A human judge cannot issue absolute judgment because he doesn't have all of the facts laid out in a completely accurate fashion. He relies on the testimony of witnesses, and could very well be that witnesses are lying through their teeth. But the judge often has no way of determining that. Even though he might ask all of the drishos and the chakiros and the bedikos, they have arranged their story accordingly that it seems like they are telling the truth. So absolute judgment can only be issued by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, as we recite on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, Le'el Orech Din. To HaKadosh Baruch Hu, all of din is laid out beautifully like a Shulchan Aruch. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has no sfeikot, no doubts as to who might be telling the truth and which of the litigants is actually lying. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu can issue absolute judgment. Ki ha-mishpat le'Elohim. However, a human being doesn't always know that. And a second factor, the purpose of judgment, as Moshe Rabbeinu will later say in the Parsha, is v'shofatati bein ish ubein re'ehu, that they are supposed to remain friends even after the judgment. When you engage in absolute judgment, under those circumstances, the victor is delighted, and the one who lost is angry at you and is angry at his co-defendant, and as a result, he is never going to establish bonds of friendship, v'shafatiti ben ishu ben re'eyu, if he was awarded an absolute judgment and received 0 in this particular din Torah. And therefore, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is looking for in the name of Rabbi Shua ben Karcha, mitzvah livshar, because you can accomplish mishpat and tzedakah. You can accomplish some degree of mishpat to the best of your ability, and you can also engage at the very same time in tzedakah. Or as the pasuk from Zechariah cited in Sanhedrin Davav Amud Beis, emet u'mishpat shalom shiftu b'sha'areichem. You can accomplish truth and a peaceful justice. And the only way that it is possible is through botzeya, through pshara, when each one gives something, acknowledging that they are both wrong, and each one gets something. As the Mishnah in Avos says, that when the litigants enter your court, you beinecha karashoim, ukusheniftarin, and when they leave, you beinecha kizakoim. Let them appear in your eyes as if they were both righteous, and that is accomplished only through compromise. How did HaKadosh Baruch Hu teach Moshe this valuable lesson? By letting him experience a Yom HaKippurim. A Yom Kippur, that's how HaKadosh Baruch Hu judges. Every person, kol ba'ei olam yavrun lefanecha, everyone is going to pass in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to find something guilty for each and every one of us. And if we claim we challenge it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say, let's go to the videotape. I'll show you exactly what you were doing on the 16th day of Shvat at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But on the other hand, HaKadosh Baruch Hu also finds ma'alot tovot in each and every one of us. And therefore, most often, he issues a decision on Yom Kippur about us based on Pshara as well. We are guilty to some extent, but we have merits and positive things upon which HaKadosh Baruch Hu can rely on to make a positive decision going forward and giving us at least another year to live. And in the same vein, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to teach Moshe Rabbeinu. In order to appreciate and be an effective dayan, you have to understand the experience of how I treat everyone on Yom HaKippurim. And therefore, Vayhi mi macharas motzei Yom HaKippurim haya.